What's up, kings and queens? Today we're talking about a muscle that is undertrained and developed in a lot of people, but really gives you some great size to your shoulders, and that's that rear delt muscle. We're going to go over a pre-contraction technique on a cable lateral fly and show you how to do that properly so you can build some great muscle. Before we get into it, we need to understand what a pre-contraction is. And it's basically I am flexing a muscle isometrically before I even begin a movement. So I'm in the stretch of a movement. In this case, that rear delt, I'm stretching across my body. I'm going to try and flex that muscle and then drive through that flex all the way, okay? So it's just activating a muscle. Your brain is telling your body which muscle you want to do the work, and then it's forcing that to kind of isolate through the motion. The second thing that we need to learn is how to isolate our rear delts, because it's very easy for our traps and rhomboids to take over. What I mean by this is as I'm doing my fly motion back like this, if I let my upper back contract with it, see that contraction back there? It means that it is helping me do the work. And so from the side, if I push my chest out and let that contract, it looks like this. And I want to shut that down. I don't want that to be working at all. I want my rear delts to try and work by themselves. So what we're going to do to shut that off is allow our upper body or our upper thoracic to curve a little bit while we're doing this exercise. So I want that curve. It's one of the few exercises that we're okay having bad posture on. You're going to be curved forward and doing this lateral raise while keeping that curve. And what happens as I keep that curve, you'll see I don't get too much contraction through my traps and rhomboids like that. And my rear delts are forced to work by themselves. And you might see that big contraction through here on my rear delts. Okay, so my motion is long and wide, and I'm not letting my upper body contract and squeeze in like that. That's just going to help us isolate that muscle so our rear delts can grow more. Okay, we're moving over to the cable machine. This is where I want you to do this exercise. There's dumbbell versions, there's a pec deck version. We have a lot of choices, but I've chosen this one today, just using a cable to accomplish that rear delt task, okay? Now, the setup on this, I like to have it high, and I'm coming down a little bit low. The reason why I'm choosing that, and you can test this out for yourself, is try and find the position to where you feel the biggest squeeze in your rear delts. I feel it right there for me. So that means that I want that as my end position, and I don't want to have it higher because I feel less, okay? So I'm going to form this arcing motion that finishes on that ultimate contraction for my rear delts, okay? So test that out yourself. Put your arms out, try and squeeze back and find where you feel your rear delts the most. I'm going to use a long handle today that just gives me more options for where my hand goes. I prefer to have my palms facing down when I'm doing this exercise. If you want to use a D handle, or sometimes people don't use any handle at all and they just grab onto the wire, that's totally fine. It's personal preference, but I do prefer hands down when I'm doing this. I feel more rear delt that way. So my setup is going to be a little bit higher than my head. I like to go cross body when I grab the weights. Okay, the reason why I want to do that is as I'm grabbing across, I'm getting the stretch of the muscle. We want to target that muscle in the stretch position, and then I'm going to be doing a pre-contraction. So I'm going to try and squeeze that muscle. It is difficult to do. You're going to get some arm squeezing with it. That's okay. So I'm going to try and squeeze that muscle, and then I'm bringing it back, trying to isolate, and then releasing. Okay, so flex, move, release. Flex, move, release. Okay, let's grab the weights, get into that position, go through the pre-contraction while keeping our thoracic bent over like this so we can isolate. So I'm going to cross up, grabbing these weights off. I have it set to very low, I think 20 pounds each side. Split stance is preferable. I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to contract my rear delts, drive down, and squeeze. Back through, contract, drive, squeeze. All while trying to keep my thoracic spine curved over so I don't get that motion there, that big contraction of my rhomboids and mid traps. Okay, bringing it out, contract, drive back, squeeze. Contract, drive back, squeeze. Really want to avoid this motion driving my chest out by keeping my thoracic forward. And keep in mind, you cannot go as heavy with a pre-contraction. If I'm able to do this with 30, 40, 50 on there, I'm just putting it at a 20. I'm focused on squeezing through that muscle. You're not going to be able to do as much weight. That's not the point. We're training neural connection, we're training for hypertrophy, and we're training for muscular endurance. Okay? I now have control of those rear delts, and they're popping a bit, which is awesome. And it kind of helps round out the look of the shoulder when you go to flex. You see that pushing out there? Just gives you a bigger, fuller look. If this video helped you, hit that like and subscribe button. Leave me a comment, let me know how it did. And if there's any exercise or movement or muscle you want to learn how to do a pre-contraction for, leave that in the comments below and I'll get to it. And remember, no sheep, just lions.